Hello everybody, happy Tuesday. I hope everyone's having a fantastic, blessed day and a blessed week, blessed month, blessed year. Okay, so what are we gonna do today? Today, I have this big pernil here. Huge pork roast. So what am I gonna do to this pork roast? I'm gonna season it and then I'm gonna put it in the oven. Now, first I have to do the preparation, which is to take my garlic. I have a whole bunch. I got like 2 heads of garlic. I'll probably use like 1.5 heads of garlic. A lot of garlic. The more garlic, the better. Okay, so I'll use this later for something else. But right now, take my garlic and I'm gonna add some oil to it. Let's add some oil to my garlic. This is so it can blend really well. So that's good right there. Now, what I want to do is I want to take this and I'm going to grind this garlic up first. Okay, let's grind this up. Or chop it up. Okay. So I put this in right. Technical difficulties. Okay, make sure this is down all the way. Put this on. Let's try it again. There we go. Now, chop, chop, chop. Alrighty, that's it. Good right there. And let me remove this out of here. I want to get another bowl to put it in. Okay, so here we go. I have a bowl. Let me put this to the side this way for a minute. Okay, I have a bowl here. Let's put that there so you can see what I'm doing. Okay. I'm going to take all this chopped garlic, like so, and let me get a spoon. Okay. Is this better? Okay. So I'm going to take all my garlic out. Yeah, it's a lot of garlic, but that's a big piece of meat there. And we want to make sure we season this very well. Okay. Puerto Rican style. Okay, so here we go. Okay, that's good. We got our garlic. So what I want to do to this garlic is I'm going to add all my seasonings in it. I think it might need a little bit more oil because as you can see it's kind of stiff. I want it just a little bit looser. I want to loosen up this garlic. So I'm going to add a little bit more oil to this. Okay, that's good. Now I have sazon here. I'm going to add my sazon to this. I have like 1.5 packets of sazon. So that's 1. That's a half. And here's the whole one. Okay, so that's done. And I also want to add some salt to this. Okay, that's good. I'm also going to add some butter, garlic, and herbs. Has some really good herbs in here, so I'm going to add some of that. And I want some black pepper in here. So let's get some black pepper in here also. All right, that's good. I have a little bit of adobo. I'm going to add some adobo in here also. Everything but the kitchen sink. Okay, there. All right, that's good right there. And I forgot the garlic, the onion powder. I know I have some onion powder here. Okay, so let's add some onion powder to this. Alrighty, so that's about it. And let's give this a nice little mix. See, it's very stiff. It's like a paste. Very nice. It's kind of really stiff though, and I see one little piece that didn't grate, but it's not a problem. I just want to loosen it a little because it's very thick. So let's add a little bit more oil to that. All right, here we go. We're trying to loosen this up a little. Okay, very yummy, very seasoned. Okay, so let's put this to the side right there. And I have a clean pan, and I'm gonna grab this bit and I'm gonna flip it this way. What I wanna do is, a lot of people take it and they just make holes in it and then stuff the holes. But I like to do it a different way, where I like to season the pork from the inside. So I'm just gonna chop it this way. Because like I said, I wanna make sure that this pernil has a lot of flavor in the inside, because those little holes don't cut it for me. I want it really marinated, really tasty. So, as you can see, I cut it this way. Now I'm gonna cut it across again. What I wanna do is find the bone, so I can go into the bone, around the bone. Okay, here we go. And this pork shoulder is gonna take at least like 4 hours in the oven. Okay, so now I have it opened. You see that? It's very open. And what I like to do is, I like to make little cuts in the inside like this. Like that. That's one side. And let's take the other side and we'll do the same here. Okay, see what I mean? Let's open this up a little. Okay, so that's good enough for me right there. And as you can see, I already got to the bone. Here's the bone. And I'm just cutting it around a little bit away from the bone, because I'm going to make sure that all my seasonings get in there. Okay, so that's good right there. And let's start marinating it. What I'll do is I'll just throw some marinade everywhere. And I'm gonna give this a good rub with all that garlic and herbs. Okay, so let's get this all incorporated in here. This is the whole base, which will make it taste really good. I'm gonna get in between the folds of this, like so. And that's good right here, see? That's what I wanted. There goes that garlic. Put that right there. And that's it. So I want to do this side also. My hand is all wet. Okay, it's not a problem. But I'm just going to give it a little cut here. And get some flavorings in this part here, which is just the flap of it. Okay, and this other flap right here. Just want to make sure. Okay, just want to make sure everything has. So let's grab a little more from here, and I'm going to season this part. Get it all in the creases really well. And over here, this part doesn't have, so okay, there we go. Very nice, very, very nice. Okay, so what I want to do is I'm going to wash my hands, but I'm not done marinating it. I'm going to take this piece, I'm going to push it in here like that. Look at that beauty. All right, so I'm gonna wash my hands for just a minute so I can flip this over and marinate the other side. So let me wash my hands. Okay, so my hands are clean. And okay, now what I want to do is I'm going to grab some aluminum foil. About that much. And then I want to crisscross it like that. Okay, so I'm going to take my Pernil. I'm going to put it in this pan over here. Okay, so I have that there. I'm just going to grab my Pernil and I'm going to put it like so. Oh, stay. Okay, I'm going to put that just like that, okay? So now the top part. Everyone leaves this like this, and then you have this big old giant crunchy piece, but I do it a little different. Look at all this. There's a lot of skin on this side. This side, I'm gonna leave it alone, okay? But up here, I'm gonna show you what I'm gonna do. Okay, so let's see if this cuts well. I just wanna give this a nice cut so that I could get some in here, because I didn't go all the way down to the other side, but then you'll get nice strips. And this knife is not working on me. It's not sharp enough. Let me see if I get another knife. Okay, here we go. I got a serrated knife, so let's try this one. Okay, this one's working much better now. I gotta be careful. I don't want to cut the aluminum foil or make any piercings on it. Okay. 1 second. I gotta see if I can sharpen this up because it's giving me a hard time. Okay, so I have my I got this nice little gadget here, and usually it works really well. Let's see. This is a serrated knife, so I'm gonna go slow with it. Alrighty, so let's put this down and let's try again. I just want to give this a little wipe here. Alright, so let's try now. Much better. Put this down. I don't want to. What I want to do is just separate these pieces like so. That's one. It's really tough skin. Okay. And let's do one more. And this is going to go into the oven for 4 hours. Okay? In 4 hours, this should be done and nice and tender. And I'll be making some rice with gandules with this. Almost there. More energy, more passion, more energy, more passion. Okay, I almost got this. Almost, I said. It's sharp, but there we go. Alrighty, so you can see I made these cuts right here, and you can see that it hardly has any seasonings in here. So I'm just gonna dump some seasonings in here. Have a little bit left. Okay, that's all I'm gonna get out of there, and that's fine. This is enough to go around. So there we go. We got this all nice and seasoned. This is perfect for me right here. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna add a little salt on the top, and I'm just gonna wash my hands again. Okie dokie. want to wrap this up because this is going to be wrapped up real as tight as I can get it for like 4 hours or maybe about 3.5 hours. And then I'm going to come in again and I'm going to cover it so the skin could get really nice and toasty. So I think I'm short some aluminum foil. So I'm going to have to get another piece to wrap this up. Let's get another piece out of here. Nice long piece. Okay, so let's put this right here for a second and let's grab this onion and put it down right there. Okay, so let's take this and wrap it. Alrighty, that's good there. That has a good, nice, tight wrap to it. So I'm gonna take this and I'm gonna put it in the oven. And okay, we got a tight, nice little package there. See that? Okay, so let's put this in the oven and I'll be back in 4 hours to see how this looks, okay? Hi everybody, I'm back. And the pernil has been in the oven for about 3.5 hours. I'm gonna take it out. Let's see what it looks like to see if I can take the aluminum foil because it's gonna need another maybe 40 minutes uncovered. So let's try. Let's see what's going on here. Oof. Oh, that's heavy. It has a lot of drippings that poured out of it. You could see all the drippings there. Do you see all the drippings? It really dripped out. It is so sticky from the garlic. It has a big old mess in there, but I want to see what it looks like, so let's open it up. So this is what it looks like after being 4 hours. It's real sticky from the garlic. There. So just gonna take it all apart like this. Don't want any aluminum stuck. And you still have a lot of the drippings in there also. It just stuck a little bit because it's so sticky and it's very soft, as you can see. Look, very soft. Okay, but we don't want it soft, we want it crispy. See, and it's sticking right to the paper. Okay, so what I want to do is I will roll this up like so, and I'm just gonna leave it in here. See, it's sticking to the foil. We don't want no foil. Very sticky. See that? Okay, so let's just roll this down. Usually I would take this dripping that's here and I would put it into my rice because it's very good. It has all the deliciousness from the pork that came down. So just gonna roll this up here like so, and that's what it looks like. And like I said, it's really nice and soft. So what I want to do is I want to put it into the oven. It has a piece of aluminum foil here. I'm trying to get it out. Okay, it doesn't want to come out. Oh, there it is. Okay, so no foil nowhere. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to see if I can pull the drippings out, because it has drippings right in there. And like I said, that would give such a good flavor to the rice. So let's see if I can pour this in a little bowl here. Okay, very carefully. Kind of messy, but This is all the drippings from the pork. So let me just get this cleaned. And then I can put it back in the oven. Okay. Here we go. I got tissue right here. Let's get this one. Let me get all this oil from here. Okay. Okay, so we clean that up a little bit. All right, now what I want to do is I want to put the pernil back into the oven, and I'm putting it like this back in there for about another 30 minutes to 40 minutes, just so all this this stuff right here can get very nice and toasty. That's what I want, for it to get nice and toasted. I'm just taking out the drippings a little. That doesn't look too appetizing. Okay, there we go. So back into the oven, okay? But it's looking very beautiful. Okay, let's put it back in. Now I'm putting it uncovered because, like I said, I want it to get toasted. Okay, so that's in the oven, and this has a lot of oil. The drippings has a lot of oil, so I don't think I'll be adding oil then. If I add these drippings, which is going to be fantastic, it won't need any oil because it has oil from the pernil already. So this is the pot that I'm going to use to make my rice. And I have 5 cups of rice already washed and rinsed. I have a can of gandules. I couldn't find any frozen ones. Oh, that's a downfall. I like frozen, but I got some pigeon peas. They're called green pigeon peas, gandules. They're washed and rinsed. I have my tomato sauce. I have my olives. And of course I have my sofrito. So let's see if this cooperates and turns on. Okay, I don't think so. I need a new stove. Okay, there we go. So now the first thing I want to do is add my sofrito to this. Just gonna get a little water to get whatever's left there, because you don't want to waste this delicious sofrito. Okay, so I have my sofrito in there, and I'm gonna get my spoon. Okay, so now the sofrito is a little bit frozen, but it's gonna get defrosted really quick when it's on the stove. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna throw my sofrito. I'm gonna stir fry it a little bit. Then the next step would be to add my my olives, and then after the olives, I would add the gandules, and then after the gandules, I have my tomato sauce that I have here. It's it was from the big chunks of tomato pieces. So I have, you see that it has extra garlic in there, all those white pieces of some garlic that I had left over. So I just grinded it all in the blender with the tomato sauce. So I have those I'm going to use. I have my sazon right here. I'm going to get my pepper, my salt and pepper, but first I want to get this done. And I think that this will be ready by the time the pernil comes out, about 35 minutes or so. Okay, there we go. It was a little frozen. And another thing that I wanted to add in this, let's put my spoon right here. Let's move this over. I have, where's my knife? Okay, so I have chorizo, and it's going to give it a nice flavor to it. So what I want to do is I want to make small slices, as thin as I can, little slices, because I want this to go all over the rice. This is just your flavor on my rice, so let's cut this up. Chorizo is like a Spanish sausage, and they mostly use it for soups, stews, and rice with gandules. So it gives it a good flavor, and that's what we want in our rice, a lot of flavor. The rice is going to be so good you don't even need any meat. You can say, I'll just eat the rice and be happy. That's how delicious it's going to be. Or it always comes out. You'd have to try it so you can vouch for that. Okay, so I have these little chorrito slices. I'm just going to chop them up in half. Like so. Okay, so we got little halfies here, and I'm gonna throw this right into here. Okay, so I have it with the sofrito cooking, and the heat is all the way up. So just want to stir fry this a little bit. Like I said, I don't need any oil because a lot of the oil came out of the pernil. So I could just take a little bit of that oil, just add it into my rice or my base. See, it's already starting to come to a little sizzle here. That's what I wanted. I wanted to sizzle up. Let it come to a big sizzle. Let it do its magic. Let it do its magic. I'll get this open. Okay. So we have our olives. I brought alcaparrado. That means that the olives have peppers in it, and it also has capers. Alcaparrado is capers. So capers, olives, and peppers are in this. I love olives. I like them raw better than being cooked, but it has to give it a good authentic Spanish flavor. So my son doesn't like olives either in the rice. He always seems to get it. The one that doesn't like it is the one that always gets it in their food, but you have to take it. You have to add olives in rice with gandules. It's a must, for me anyway. It just brings out more flavors in it. That's looking really good and smelling really nice. Okay, so going good. Just want to cook the sofrito up just a little bit. What's the sofrito? Onion, garlic, peppers, cilantro, recao. Yeah, onion, peppers, garlic, recao, and cilantro, all that incorporated into the blender with a little bit of oil, and you get sofrito. And it smells so delicious right now. So yummy. It's not even cooked, and it smells yummy. This is the part where everyone thinks the food is almost ready. They're like, is it ready? I smell it. And it's because you smell the onion, garlic, pepper, everything. So, okay, so now that we have that in there, I'm going to grab a spoon and yeah, I took one. I'm going to add my spoon. See all the delicious capers and nice pieces of peppers. So it took like 2 spoons maybe. Okay, and the peppers, I love the peppers. All right, and I'm gonna add like 1 spoon. There you go. So that's it, and let's put this away. Now we have our olive, and to this I want to add my gandules so they can start incorporating flavor on this. So you can see it was clean and dry. I want everything to taste good. So now that I have that there like this, I'm going to put this aside. And I'm gonna add 2 sazons because I want to have it a nice robust color and flavor. So I added 2 sazons. Okay, and just gonna give this a little mix. Yes, I lost 2 little pieces. All right. So let's bring that while I get my salt and my pepper. Let's get some salt and pepper on there. It doesn't need a lot of ingredients, so I'm just gonna add some salt. And I'm gonna add some pepper. And I'm gonna add just a little bit of adobo, not a lot, just a little bit for taste. That's like about half a teaspoon there. Okay, so that's that. Now that we have all these good flavors incorporated, now I will add the tomato sauce so it can cook up for a little bit. It has to cook for like about at least 5 minutes. You want it to cook. The tomato sauce is like just raw tomatoes. You want to cook them like making a sauce. So I'm going to make my sauce, and it's going to be incorporated with all this goodness in here. Let's just give it another minute, and I just want to add another spoon of oil. As you can see, if you go on the top layer, it has a lot of oil. So this is good because it's going to keep your rice from sticking. I would have added it, but since I have this one and it's so flavorful, I'll just add that oil there. That's looking very good. You want to cook the ingredients so they can get all flavorful, like so. Just want to give it a second more. I want really hot, so when I add my tomato sauce, it could just keep cooking and won't slow down the process because it's already hot. Okay. It looks and smells delicious. So that's a good boil that I have here. You can see everything is cooking in nice. Awesome. All the sizzle. And to this I'm going to add like 3 spoons of these big serving spoons. 2 and 3. I'm going to add the 3.5 because it's really not that much. Okay, so I added 3 big spoons of that. I would say probably a 8-ounce can or something like that. Or yeah, about 8 ounces or more. Okay, so what I want to do is just let this cook. Just want to let this cook for a little bit before I add the rice in there. And it's a good time now if you wanted to add some of this flavoring in there, you can also add it. I'm not going to add a lot. It's just a really good tasty base. Like I said, this is all the drippings from the pernil. So I think that's good. I think that gives it a nice flavor. I'll get rid of this. I don't need this anymore. And we won't be putting it on top of the pernil. All right, so let's put this to the side. And it tastes so good. I just have to taste it really quick. See? Now, it's coming to a fast boil. And I could hear it making noise in here. Yeah, it's sizzling up in there. So, just wait and give it a few more minutes. And then I can add my rice and the water, and then we cover it and leave it. But after it comes to a boil first. So that's looking nice. We want to cook the tomato sauce. Okay, leave that right there. It's going to be splattering all over the place. I think that's okay. I got a little rag. I'll keep up with it. Okay. When you go to Spanish parties, you can definitely find the roast pork and rice with gandules because that's like top notch, the first thing on the list. And then another thing you'll find is, you know, guajava. If you ever saw the guajava, it's either in a little brick or a can. It's guajava and white cheese, and you just cut the guajava and the white cheese and you lay them on some Ritz crackers. That's another staple for parties. And then you have your potato salad, and then whatever wants to follow from there, empanadas, empanadillas, or whatever. But yeah, this, you go looking for this first in the Spanish party. There we go, it's going good. See, that's what I wanted. I want to cook my tomato sauce first in there, and then I can throw the rice in. See, it's coming to a nice bubble and boil. That's looking good, very good. Ooh, and it's hot in here. It's like 80 degrees today. I can't wait till we actually do get a taste of autumn and have it at what, 50, 60. Oh, that's the best type of weather, 50s and 60s. That's good. Anything else is just irritatingly hot. And I should be used to it. I mean, I was raised in Puerto Rico, and that's all you get is hot. Okay, look at that. It smells delicious, and I think it's ready already. And when I say it's ready, it's ready for the rice. And like I said, I washed this rice. I have 5 cups of rice in here. So I'm just gonna add this like so. Just give it a quick little mix. I think there's someone at my door. Okay, let me just give this a quick mix. See, it has that nice color. Very nice. Beautiful. I just want to get it mixed up. Okay, now that I have all those flavors incorporated into the rice, like so. It smells so good, you'd think the rice was ready. Okay, I'm gonna get some water. I'll show you that. I really don't measure it. I'm sorry, I've been doing it so long. I will show you a trick. So I have some water here in the bowl. And my trick is you add the water to the rice. And all you want is a little bit of water on top. Let me get this rice. See, this still needs more. It's dried. You can tell it has a hard turn to it. Like you have to put a little force when you go to turn it. That's not what we want. We want a nice loose turn. So I'm gonna add a little bit more water. Like so. And I still need a little bit more water. Okay, see, now it's kind of starting to loosen up a little bit. When you feel a little loose, I really have barely nothing, like maybe 3 ounces of water left, so I'm just gonna add it in. Excuse me. Okay, so that's what you want. Just to see a little bit of water. You don't want to drown the rice, okay? So you have some water. If I was gonna say, I put five cups of rice and about maybe 6 cups of water. Okay, I don't want no mushy rice. I want it to be so nice. But they say the best rice is the one where you put the spoon in it, and if it stands up, it's the perfect rice. And it kind of stands up. Nope. It still be perfect rice. Okay, so yeah, so if it stands up, I think that I'm using the wrong pot, but there you go. Ta-da! It stood up for a minute. I just wanted to show off. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna let this come to a boil. Once it comes to a complete boil, I'm gonna cover it. Okay, we want to let that come to a boil. Once that comes to a boil, I'll be taking a piece of foil and I'll put it on top because it'll give moisture. So I'll just put like a piece of top like that before I cover it. So I'll just leave this right here for now. And now to wait for this to come to the boil. It'll be done soon. Soon enough. Looking good. Smelling delicious. And like I said, you don't want a lot of rice. You just want it to absorb some water, and then it's going to cook al vapor, meaning vapor. Vapor is what's going to cook this, or the steam. And it smells so good. I just want to give it one taste to see if it has enough salt, because that's a big quantity of rice there. Yeah, I could use a little tiny bit more salt. Don't want it to be bland, so I'm just gonna add about another tablespoon of rice, and that's good. Excuse me, there's a lot of rice to season here. So it's coming to a boil already. And let me just peek. Looking nice, very nice. Alrighty, so. And that pernil is nice and tender. And I don't want to play with this anymore. Just gonna leave it alone and let it do its thing, or it's gonna come to a full boil. I keep turning it, and he's just giving it air and cooling it off. So I said this is gonna take a few minutes, so give me about 5 minutes, and it should come to a boil. Yeah, finally come to a boil now. So now you give it a quick little mix. As you can see, it's boiling and it's absorbing most of the water. That's what I wanted. Just like so. And it smells so good. Just want to get this all incorporated. You see, there's hardly no liquid anymore in there. So there's hardly no liquid. So okay, so what I want to do is I'm going to cover it now, because this is good. I don't want it to not have any liquid. I want it to have some liquid. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cover this up. Cover this beautiful baby all up. Okay, so what I want to do is I want to take my aluminum foil and just cover it a little bit on the edges like so. And this is going to create more steam. So now I'll cover it, and I'm going to lower it to like a medium low so it can cook for about 30 minutes. So let's lower the heat. There you go. So I brought it down to medium low, and I'm going to leave that for half an hour. I'm not going to mix it, because if you mix it, it's going to get mushy, and I don't want it mushy. I want it nice and loose. Okay, so everything is nice and tight there, has a good little thing to it, and I'll be back. Okay, guys. So we're back, and let's see how the rice is. Hot. And there you go. Look at that beautiful rice. And you see, it's very nice and loose. It is not at all sticky. So you just want to bring it up and over like so. Oof. This is hot and a lot. My daughter always says, "You got some for me? Honey, if you watch it, come on down." There you go. So that's my rice. Smells delicious and looks fantastic. Beautiful. See? Perfect rice. No stickiness. That's why I said don't move it a lot, because the more you move it, the stickier it'll get. So let's take this over, and let me cover this a minute, and I'll shut the stove off because it's ready, and let's see how our pernil looks, okay? Oof, wait, let me shut that oven. It's hot. Okay, and here we go. Excuse me. sorry. I was sick. Whew. Look at that. That's perfect. Listen to this. Crunchy. Super, super crunchy. And perfect. It's so nice and tender. So let's serve a plate. Okay? Let me get my plate. Okay, I'm gonna put my plate right here, and I want to get a knife. I usually take it off of there, and I'll put like on a cutting board so that I can cut it better. So let me get my cutting board here, and let's see how we can move this big baby. Okay, let's see. It's really soft. It's gonna fall off the bone. It already is coming off right here. I like to cut it on. It's so tender. Look, I'm just trying to flip it, and the piece just broke off. It is so super, super tender. Look at this. Perfect. I have to try this. Hot. All right. I'm gonna have to cut it from here. So. Oof, baby, this is so hot. Look at it, just comes right off the bone. Look at that beautifulness. Okay, so, oh my goodness, it's hot. Hold on 1 second, please. Oh my goodness, the heat is real. This kitchen must be like 100 degrees in here. Okay. So, let's cut more of this. Like I said, it's just like falling off the bone. Beautiful. All right. Let me get a plate of rice. That looks simply delicious. And there you go. See that? Gorgeous. Let's put a little piece of, oh, that looks absolutely delicious. So then I'm going to take this piece right here. You can hear it. Someone's going to have fun with this crunchy. Nice and crispy. Delicious. Let's put it right there on top so you could see that crunchiness, that delicious. Oh, goodness. It's so good. I'm going to take some meat out from here. As you can see, it looks beautiful. We can add another piece of crunchy. Look at that beautifulness. Doesn't that look absolutely amazing? So let's get another piece of meat out. Like that, and nothing burned on the bottom. It's absolutely just perfect. So tender. It just falls off the bone. Delicious. Look at this. Gorgeous. So gorgeous. It's just falling, look, right off the bone it falls. Oh, goodness. There's another piece right here, really nice. I'm just going to cut it right out. Gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. So, there it is. My rice with pernil, rice with gandules and pernil. And it looks like this. I hope you like this recipe. I hope you make it. And I hope everybody had a nice time watching, like I had a nice time making it. Everybody, please give me a like. If you like my video, give me a like. Subscribe and touch the notification bell so you don't miss any more of my videos, okay? So we're about to bon appetit this, okay? Have a good one. Bye. Thanks for watching. Delicious. So yum. Bye, everybody.